this is Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum, and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, and the daily support, resistance, and pivot levels. It is Wednesday, the 26th of August. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlestick. Mixed start to the morning for Bitcoin. Going to need to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 11,419 to support a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 11,701. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from 11,500 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 11,778 should cap any upside on the day. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level, setting at 11,060 into play. Barring another extended sell-off, however, Bitcoin should avoid sub 11,000 and the second major support level, setting at 10,778. Looking at the MACDs, we've seen a narrowing of the bearish histograms and a bullish crossover, with a bullish histogram forming early this morning. Looking at the 50 EMA, however, that has widened against the 100 and the 200, suggestive of another pullback on the day. So key through the morning would be to move through the pivot level and break out from 11,500 to support a recovery of yesterday's loss. Moving across to EOS against the US dollar, also a mixed start to the morning. Going to need to see EOS move through the pivot at 3.1573 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 3.3622. Going to need to see a broad-based crypto rally for EOS to break back through to 3.3 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level should cap any upside. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level, sitting at 2.9184 into play. Barring another extended sell-off, EOS should avoid the second major support level, sitting at 2.7135. Looking at the MACDs, we're also seeing a bullish crossover there and a narrowing of the bearish histograms, suggesting a positive day ahead. The EMA, however, has widened against the 100 and the 200. So key through the morning would be to move through the pivot level and back through to 3.3 levels to support a breakout and a recovery of yesterday's loss. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar. Another mixed start to the day here. Going to need to see Ethereum move through the pivot at 387.33 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 405.31. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 400 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level should cap any upside. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 365.36 and the 38.2% fib at 367 into play. So barring an extended sell-off, we should see Ethereum avoid sub 350s and the second major support level, sitting at 347.38. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a bullish crossover and a bullish histogram formation there, supportive of this early morning recovery. The 50 EMA, however, has widened against the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a continued pullback. So key through the morning would be to move through the pivot and return to 400 levels to prevent another sell-off. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, a recovery from the early morning loss through the early part of the day here. We're going to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 0.2789 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 0.2874. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to put 28 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, that first major resistance level should cap any upside on the day. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level, sitting at 0.2680 into play. Barring another crypto sell-off, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.26 levels and the second major support level, sitting at 0.2595. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bullish crossover there with a bullish histogram formed, supportive of this morning recovery. 50 EMA, however, is suggestive of another pullback on the day. So key through the morning will be to move through the pivot level and return to 0.28 levels to prevent another sell-off.